morning. This is the part 4 of our chapter Work and Energy. In this part, we will study about energy. But before going in detail with this part, let me recall you the previous concepts that we have learned. Till our previous part, we have studied about what is work done. Work is said to be done only if there is a force and there is a displacement in the object in the direction of the applied force. In previous part, we have derived the general expression for work done, that is, here you can see W is equals to F into S cos of theta, where you know that F is the magnitude of the applied force, S is the displacement occurred in the object, and theta is the angle between this force vector and the displacement. Based on this theta, again we have classified the work as of three types: positive work, negative work, and zero work. Positive work, negative work, and zero work. Positive work is that work in which the direction of the force and displacement are same. Or you can say angle between the force and displacement is an acute angle. In that case, work done is positive. Work is said to be negative when the direction of displacement is opposite to the direction of the applied force, or angle between the displacement and force is an obtuse angle. While zero work is the special case in which you can see that force and displacement both are perpendicular to each other, or you can say the theta, that is angle between force and displacement, equal to 90 degree. So these are the things that we have learned in our previous class. Now in this part we will study about energy. So what is energy, or what do we mean by energy? There are two things. Energy is defined as the capability or capacity of doing work, and second, any object having the capability to do work is said to possess energy. Okay? You are well aware of this term work. Work is said to be only if there is a force and there is a displacement in the object in the direction of the applied force. So suppose if this duster is placed here, and if I have the capability so that I can apply a force in this duster so that the duster get displaced in the direction of the applied force. Suppose here if I apply a force in this direction, then you can see the duster get displaced by this much distance. Initially the duster was here, but when I apply the force, then duster get displaced by a certain distance. It means I have the capability to do some work on this duster. So we can say I have energy, or I possess energy. So energy basically means anything which has the capability or capacity of doing work, then we can say that has energy. Let us understand energy with the help of these examples. Let's try to understand concept of energy with the help of these three examples. So here in this first example, you can see that there are two bodies, body A and body B, which are placed nearby each other. In this situation, you can see that the body A has no capacity of doing work, because here the body A cannot apply a force on B such that B get displaced from its original position. Hence we can say here A has no energy. A has no energy. But what happens if A starts moving with a certain velocity V? If A starts moving with a certain velocity V, then after some instant of time, when it strikes the object B, then what happens? A applies certain force on B, and due to this force, B get displaced from its original position, from this position to say, let us B come here. Okay? So here you can see that the B get displaced by a distance S by the application of the force F, by object A. So in this situation we can say A has energy. Why? Because A has the capability to apply certain force on B, due to which B get displaced from its original position by a certain distance S. So in this situation A has energy. Okay. Now let us see the second example. Here you can see that there is a wooden block and a nail is placed in the wooden block, and there is also a hammer. What happens if we just place hammer over the nail? Then you can say in this situation hammer has no capability such that it can displace this nail into the wooden block. Since in this situation hammer has no capacity of doing some work on the nail, hence we can say hammer has no energy. Hammer has no energy. But again, what happens if we raise this hammer by a certain height h? When I raise this hammer by a certain height h and again strike the nail, then what happens? The hammer applies certain force on the nail. The hammer applies certain force on the nail, due to which the nail gets displaced by a distance s deep into the wooden block. So here you can see that when I raise the hammer and strike the nail, then hammer has energy. Why? Because it applies certain force, and due to that force nail gets displaced by certain distance. So in this situation hammer has energy. Okay students, now let us see the third example. In this example you can see that there is a spring and a block attached to this spring at one end. Okay. So in this situation you can see that a spring has no capacity such that it can apply certain force. It can apply certain force on the block A, and block A get displaced in the direction of the force. Okay. So in this situation spring has no energy. But what happens if we compress the spring? If we compress the spring and again release it, then what happens? So here you can see that when I compress the spring, then the shape and size of this spring gets changed. Okay. And after compressing, when I release this spring again, then it applies certain force on the block attached to it. It applies certain force on this block A which is attached to it. And due to this force, the block is displaced from this position to this position. It means the compressed spring has the capacity of doing work, because it can apply certain force on the block attached to it, so that the block gets displaced by a certain distance s. So here we can say that the compressed spring has energy. So students, from these examples it is clear that anything has energy only if it has the capacity of doing work, and the object which has the capability of doing work is said to possess energy. Here in this example A has the capability of doing work, so we can say A has energy. Here not have here A has energy. Okay. In the same situation, here the hammer has the capability of do some work on nail. So hammer has energy. Hammer has energy. And here the spring has the capability to apply some force such that it will get displaced in the direction of force. So we can say the compressed spring has energy. Okay. So the object which is doing work or which is capable of doing work is said to possess energy. Okay students, now students, here you can see that there are two things. First, there is an object which is doing work, and there is one more object on which the work is done. For example, let us understand this situation. Here you can see that A is the object which is doing work, while B is the object on which the work is done by A. Work is done by A. Okay? So the object which is doing work loses energy, while the object on which the work is done gains energy. In this example, since the work is done by A, so we can say A loses energy. A loses energy, but work is done on B, so B gains energy. B gains energy. Here in this situation you can see that here the spring is doing work on the block A. Since the spring is doing work, so means spring loses energy, but the work is being done on the block A. So block A gains energy. Okay students? In this example, hammer is doing work. So we can say hammer loses energy, while the work is done on nail. So nail gains energy. Okay students? So if I want to summarize this concept, then what we can write? Let us see. There are two things. There are two things. First, object doing the work. Object doing the work. The object which is doing the work loses energy. Loses energy. While the object on which work is done, object on which work is done gains energy. Gains energy. For example, here if I want to displace this duster from this position to a certain height here. Okay? So who is doing work here? I am doing work. I am doing work on what? On this duster. So when I displace this duster from this position here to here, then I am losing some muscular energy. I am losing some muscular energy because I am doing work on this duster. But the work is being done on this duster. So when I displace this duster from here to here, then this duster gains energy. This duster gains energy. And the amount of energy that I have lost is equal to the amount of energy this duster has gained. So I hope it is clear. Whenever work is done, then there are two things. First, some object doing the work, and the second, object on which work is done. So the object which is doing the work loses energy, but the object on which work is done gains energy. Okay students? So I hope this concept is clear to you. Now SI unit of energy. SI unit of energy. Okay students? Now students, you know that energy is defined as the capacity of doing some work. Capacity of doing some work. And since work has SI unit of work is Joule, which is represented by capital J. So SI unit of energy is also SI unit of energy is also joule. Is also joule. So it is simple that SI unit of energy is joule. Some larger units are like kilojoule. 1 kilojoule equals to 1000 joule. 1 kilojoule equals to 1000 joule, or we can write 10 to the power 3 joule. In the same way, 1 megajoule equals to 10 to the power 6 joule. Okay. Some smaller units of energy is 1 millijoule. 1 millijoule equals to 10 to the power minus 3 joule. Okay, students. Now, what do we mean by 1 joule? What do we mean by 1 joule of energy? So again, we take the previous example that I have explained you earlier. Like, there is a block of 1 kilogram. There is a block of mass 1 kilogram, okay, which is placed on the ground level. Okay, friends. So here you can see that the weight of this block, that is mg. Mg means 1 kilogram into g, 9.8 meter per second square. So it is equals to 9.8 Newton. Okay. So force of 9.8 Newton is acting downwards. Let us say I have to displace this block by 10 centimeter. How much? 10 centimeter. Okay. This is the displacement of 10 centimeter. Then if I have to displace this block from here to here, then I have to apply a force equal to 9.8 Newton, but in upward direction. So this is the direction of force, which is equal to 9.8 Newton. Okay. So if we want to calculate the work done, then work done is defined as force into displacement and cos of theta. So here you can see the force is 9.8 Newton. 9.8 Newton. Displacement is 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter means 0.1 meter. So here we can write 0.1 meter into cos of theta. Here you can see that this is the direction of force and this is the direction of displacement. Both are in same direction. So theta will become equals to 0 degree. So we can write into cos of 0 degree. Okay. Let us multiply what we get. 9.8 Newton meter. 9.8 into 0.1 means 0.98 Newton meter into cos 0 equals to 1. So what we have? 0.98 joule. 0.98 joule, or approximately we can say it is equal to 1 joule. Approximately it is equal to 1 joule. It means displacing an object of 1 kilogram by 10 centimeter, we have to do a work of 1 joule. Okay? And in order to do a work of 1 joule, 1 joule of energy is required. In order to do 1 joule of work, 1 joule of energy is required. So 1 joule of energy is defined as the energy required to do 1 joule of work. Here we can write 1 joule of energy is required to do 1 joule of work. Okay, sir? So this is the definition of 1 joule of energy. Okay. Now we will come to the different forms of energy. Now what is mechanical energy? An object is said to possess mechanical energy if it can apply a certain force on the other object and displace it in the direction of the applied force. So, mechanical energy can be attained in 3 ways. First, due to motion of the object, due to motion of object. Second, due to change in configuration. Configuration means shape and size. Shape and size. And the third is due to change in position. Due to change in position of the object. So, mechanical energy is possessed by an object due to motion of the object, due to change in configuration, that is shape and size, and the third is due to change in position. Now, what does it mean? How due to motion it possesses mechanical energy? Suppose here, if I place 2 objects, this is the block A and this is the block B. Now here you can see that there is no motion in the block A, and the block A is not capable of applying certain force on the block B such that it will get displaced. So we can say A does not possess mechanical energy. Why? Because the definition of mechanical energy is that an object is said to possess mechanical energy if it can apply certain force on the other object and displace it from its original position. So here you can see that A has not capacity so that it can apply certain force on B so that we get displaced. So A has no mechanical energy. But suppose if A starts moving, then it comes in motion, and when it is in motion, then what happens? It can apply certain force on B, and due to this force, B get displaced from this position, from its original position here to here. Now in this situation, we can say A has mechanical energy. Why? Because due to its motion, it can apply certain force on B such that B get displaced from its original position. So in this situation, A possesses mechanical energy. So that's why we can say due to motion of the object, mechanical energy possessed by an object. Okay. Now the second is due to change in configuration. First, let us understand what is configuration. Configuration means shape and size. For example, here you can see that the shape of this duster is cuboid, and if you measure the dimensions, the length of this duster, that is 15 centimeter, the breadth, that is 5 centimeter, and the height is 3 centimeter. So this is the size of this duster. So the shape is cuboid and the dimensions are 15, 5 and 3. So this combinedly known as configuration. How an object look like, that is the meaning of configuration. So due to change in configuration, also mechanical energy can be possessed. How? Let us understand it with the help of an example. Suppose we have a spring. Here, okay, and there is a block attached to it. Now in this situation, when the spring is in original position, the spring is not able to apply certain force on this block so that the block get displaced. And if the spring is not able to apply certain force on the block and it will not displace the block B, then we can say spring has no mechanical energy. But when you change the shape and size while compressing it, if if I compress the spring, then what happens? The shape and size of this spring change. Now when we compress it, then you can see the spring get compressed and also its shape and size is changed. Now when I compress it and again release, then what happens? It will apply the force on the block such that the block is displaced from this position to this position. Okay. So in this situation you can see the compressed spring has mechanical energy. Why? Because it has the ability to apply certain force such that this force can displace the object. So in this situation, due to change in shape and size, means change in configuration, the mechanical energy is produced. Okay. The third is change in position. Change in position. Suppose this is the initial position of this duster. Here you can see that this copy can bear this duster. But if I change the position of this duster from here to here and again leave it, then what happens? You can see the copy will go some height below. Okay. So here you can say due to change in position, it possesses mechanical energy because it has done some work on the copy. So this is the meaning of change in position. So mechanical energy possessed by an object due to motion of the object, due to change in configuration and due to change in position. Okay students, I hope this is clear to you. Now again these are given some new terms. The mechanical energy due to motion is known as kinetic energy. While the mechanical energy due to change in configuration and change in position is combinedly known as potential energy. Okay. Now we will study in detail kinetic energy and potential energy separately.